This is part two of the Excel sorting data and mail merge series. Um, I've assumed, hopefully, that you've already watched part one and have created your Excel document. This is what the end of part one looked like. I had sorted my data by last name, and I had already previously entered in these scores. We had practiced averages and sums in this column, but had not kept them. I'm going to return to home. Everything is already sorted. Presumably these parent emails would correspond with the parents of John Adams as a student, or would actually be that person specifically. If you've saved your document, you need to know where you've put it, whether it's in the My Documents folder, or you could go ahead and create a new folder specifically for this class list or future mail merge items. If you did not include these pieces of data, but just merely included the last name, first name, and parent email, that could also be advantageous in the future. If you had a specific thing you wanted to send to each parent, you could add email body here and say like great job first quarter, something specific for John. Of course, in this email body, you would not want to include their name. The goal is to save as much time as possible by using mail merge and not repetitively entering in a student's name or rewriting things that are already done. Keep up the good work. Still waiting on a few homework assignments. Let's see, something else I could say. Thanks for the gift card. It was a pleasure seeing him play his tuba. Break. And perhaps one more. Maybe I'll copy and paste this. Have a great time over spring break. So this is a third row that is a specific message. If you were doing some sort of specific message to each person that you did want something or one line to be different, this is one way. Enter in a few comments for the names you've entered in. This is an optional aspect, as are all of these, but I want to just show you a little bit further some of the capabilities of the mail merge. I'm going to go ahead and save this. This is important what I'm about to do next. I'm clicking the X to completely close out of Excel. Now to write my letter, I need to open up a blank Word document. If you've previously opened up Word recently, you can open up Microsoft Word from being on the menu. Once again, you could type in the word to do a quick search, and that would find it in my Windows 7. Again, if you're working with Windows XP, you can click the Start button, click Programs. Under Microsoft Office, it would have Word. Again, with Spotlight for Microsoft for an Apple computer, click the little Spotlight indicator and type in the word Word, and it would find it. I'm going to open it up right here. I'm using Microsoft Word 2007, which again is different than previous editions in that it's a little more visual, with the menus at the top being more visible in what you're capable of doing. So I want to say perhaps greetings, the beginning of my letter or email. In mail merge, I could create or generate a number of letters that could be individually printed with their differing data that they contain, or I could send an individual personalized email to each student's parent regarding that student individually. Before I get much further, I am going to link this Microsoft Word document with the Excel data that I've already made. If I go to mailings, because I'm going to create a mailing type document, I could create envelopes, labels. I could start the mail merge and create a letter. Microsoft Word would walk me through the steps in creating a letter, which is what I'm about to do. I could do a step-by-step mail merge, which would walk you through some of the similar steps I'm about to do. These things kind of take you step by step if you don't remember or don't have this video as a reference in a given moment. Probably one of the more quicker ways that I want to do is explain a little bit further what the steps of the mail merge are. So I'm going to go ahead and select the recipients in my mail merge list. I don't need to type a new list. I've already created a list. Use an existing list is what I'm going to choose. You do have the option of selecting from Outlook contacts. I'm going to use an existing list. I am then going to go and find the Excel list that I started already. Here's my class list that I created in part 1 of this video series. At the bottom of my Excel document there was 3 sheets. I only interacted with the first one. My first row of data contains column headers. You might recall this discussion in part 1. That is true. I did type in the name, president, first name, last name, and the science unit test and quiz. Click OK. It's going to find and link with that information. Now if I go to Insert Merge Field, it has found all those header columns. So if I wanted to say greetings, and I want to say, for example, greetings, last name, family. If this was George Washington's parents, regardless of, I could, if I had the individual parent names, I could say greetings, mom and dad of George Washington, but I'm just going to say greetings, Washington family. I could preview what this looks like by clicking Preview Results. I had organized it alphabetically, so Adams was first. Greetings, Adams family. It's up to you how you want to say that. You could just, I want to show you the full advantages of mail merge. You could just say greetings, family, or dear parents of this. But I want to show you the full capability of the personalized email. I'm going to remove this preview just for now. Dear, and you can imagine that it's really saying, Dear Adams family, I wanted to send you a quick note regarding the recent science test results of, obviously now's a good time to insert the student's first name, test results of, if I preview this, Dear Adams family, I want to send you a quick note regarding the recent science test results of John. Obviously John Adams was the full name, so you see that there is a connection. I can click this to go to my next record, and this would show me that Mark Adams was the second Adams I had on my list. Thomas Jefferson family, test results of Thomas. Go ahead and hit a period. On the science test, maybe I'll insert his first name again, Thomas, or whoever, received a score of, insert merge field, science unit test, received a score of, I'll give you a little preview, 45 out of 100. This is we want to do another unit test, percent. On our science quiz, first name, received a science quiz, received a 7 out of 10. If I preview what I have so far, greetings Jefferson family. I want to send you a quick note regarding the recent science test results of Thomas. On the science test, Thomas received a score of 45 out of 100. This is a 45%. On our science quiz, Thomas received a 4 out of 10. I can highlight the merge fields if I want. This shows me all of the special merge fields that I've pulled from Excel. I can remove this preview and it highlights all these formulaic type expressions, first name. You'll recognize that these expressions, Science Unit Test 1, was the actual header rows from my Excel document. Let's say, on a final note, here, if I wanted to, I could go ahead and do the email body. If I preview this, you recall, still waiting on a few homework assignments. I want to say a quick note. If I cycle through some of these quick notes, as far as the email body messages I inputted, may not always make sense depending on how you wrote them. The more you do mail merge, the more efficient you would be in writing them so they kind of fit with the lingo that you're going to end up with in your final letter. If I cycled through some of these different things. On a final note, keep up the good work. Great job first quarter. Thanks for the gift card. It was a pleasure seeing him play his tuba. So these are my email. These are my messages. I can finish off. Thanks, Mr. Dean. This final note or email body that I used for this particular merge field, that could almost be a report card comment, a generic status update. If I didn't have a science unit test, I could almost replace the science unit test with just the comment, which could be a report card comment or some sort of home connection letter that I just wanted to say something specific. Maybe I wanted the generic letter format, but this whole paragraph could be the email body, and I could just easily generate a mail merge document. I used all the fields on here, but if I didn't want to use the email body, I could delete this. There's no requirement that says you needed to use all of the fields that are required in the Excel mail merge document that we used. I've just chosen to use all of them. I'm going to undo and restore my email body. Obviously in this email I didn't use the parent email link, which is all mine. I'm going to undo that. Undo it again. The email field I'm going to use when I get to the email stage of the mail merge, if that is how you want to communicate with parents or use mail merge. When I'm ready and all done, I can preview results as I've been doing all along and cycle through all of the data. Washington was my last result. You could have anywhere from 1 to hundreds of different data items in your Excel document. I only have 7. Obviously, the more you have, the more it works with. Finish and merge. I can go ahead and edit individual documents. This would produce a new document called Letters 1. That document would have 7 pages to it because I have 7 different fields in my original Excel document. I could save this final document as a post-merge type document, kind of as a record keeping of the letters that I sent home. Once again, I have all the data in Excel. You could organize it that way, but if you really wanted a copy of each of the individual letters that was sent home, that would be the way to do it, edit individual documents. I'll click on that momentarily. Secondary, I could click Print Documents. This would automatically choose my 7, and I click OK. And this would automatically cycle through and print all 7 pages, with each page, of course, being a different field, different name, different entry in my Excel list. I'm going to go ahead and save this document because I am going to be closing it and reopening it. I'm going to save it in the same folder as my Excel document. When you're working with these mail merge documents, they are linked, so you want them ideally saved in the same place. I'm going to call this science results letter, and that's saved in the same folder as my Excel document. If I was to close this document and outside of Excel or outside of Word and rename that document, there would be a problem with the link. If I tried to open up Microsoft Word again, it wouldn't be able to find the Excel document that had been linked to it. I'm going to go ahead, you'll see this is called Science Results Letter that I called it. You can call it whatever you like. Edit individual documents. Click OK. This is going to open up a new document, and as I promised, this is a 7-page document, which each page corresponds to a different family. I could go ahead and save this one as well and call it post-merge. Once again, I could go ahead and print all these pages as they are. The advantage in editing individual documents and creating this new document is if I wanted to go in and correct something, or maybe I thought this part was stupid, but I only wanted to remove it from John Adams' correspondence, I could delete that email body here, but still on all the other documents there would that email body would remain. I'm going to not save this, but I could go ahead and print this if I so desired. Greetings. So this is my original document. This has been saved. I am going to close this and just show you what it looks like when I reopen it. It's going to ask me a question. In a few moments I'm going to show you the email messages option of this mail merge capabilities. So I had saved it on the desktop. Science results letter. If I wanted to, I could return to my Excel list, and as you might recall, perhaps George Washington had received a good score on one of his tests, an 89, but let's suppose that he found an error in my calculations and I changed that to a 95. If I close this Excel and open up Word, in the post-merge document it would not be corrected because that document is not linked with Excel, but in the pre-merge, the other Word document that I did save, that's still linked and that would automatically update. If I had a future quiz that I wanted to add here, for example, if I did return to the averages, or if I had a science quiz 2 and entered a number of results, save this, I close it. If I close it, it's going to ask me to save. If I reopen the letter, once again, it's important that the Excel document be closed when I'm opening the corresponding linked Word document. It's going to ask me a question. It's a security feature of this Microsoft Office. Opening this document will run the following SQL command. SQL is just a type of programming lingo. Select from sheet 1, that's the previous link I had made. Yes, I want to open that data and reestablish that connection. We happen to already be on the Washington family preview. If I go to mailings again, it's previewing those results. You'll notice that he used to have an 89, but I changed it to 95. If I, once again, as I said, edit individual documents, the document that is produced, that is 7 pages long, is not linked with Excel, and it would not update there. However, it would update here. On our science quiz, if I wanted to change this to science quiz 1, George received a 9 out of 10. On our second science quiz, you also note, if I use the term, on our second science quiz, he received, if in your class you had a female, this would not be a good way to do things, because it kind of gives away that you're using a mail merge, but not that needs to be a secret. But you could say, on our second science quiz, first name George received a, and because these are linked, here's my second science quiz 2, 6 out of 100. if I preview all these results, all these are on our second science quiz. John received an 8 out of 10. I know this perhaps might be better, an A60, to create lesson confusion between N8 versus A67. So I can go ahead and save this. Previewing results, I can see all 7. I'm going to go ahead and test my email function. This says to who. I want to send it to the parent email. If I clicked any of these other values, if I click last name, it would try to search in your default mail client. Also, I must mention that if you're using some sort of online email client, using the mail merge function to send an email would not work. This only works if you have an email client on your computer, preferably Microsoft Outlook, to lessen problems and ease the easiness of doing the mail merge. So this is obviously going to use my own email address to send these messages. So if I'm going to click parent email, I'm going to do all records. That would send an email. Something I didn't do before I sent an email was type in a subject line. As you can see, it's going to cycle through all these emails, and it's going to send an email to all those parents with this exact message in the body of that email. Something I should have done but did not was include a subject line. So all the emails that are being sent out would have no subject line, but I could go ahead and type in science results. This would show these different scores, and this would send out 7 emails. Of course, by clicking OK, as soon as I click this, it sends out those messages. So by doing this again, I would again be sending out those messages. You might recall that this parent email column in my Excel, I had used only my email, so only I will receive all these emails, so I'm not really sending these to parents. It's cycling through all these things. You'll see that all these messages are being received, and it's recognizing in my Outlook that these emails are being received. So this is my first section that I had not sent anything, but you'll see that greetings Adams family. This looks like a regular email. You might never know that I had used mail merge and only written 1 letter. And if you had a class list of 25 people, you could easily send out a customizable email that actually uses their name, very respectful, and each email changes and it talks about the first name and all the scores of individualized data. I could go back here. I'm still back here again. I could go ahead and edit individual documents and save this, or I could just leave this as the science results letter. But once again, anytime I wanted to use the student names, I could easily import the names into a document like this and start a new letter. I could start a new Microsoft Word document, and even if I was printing out a new science quiz and I had the whole quiz written out in Microsoft Word, if I linked and select the recipients from my list, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Created a new document, blank document. I could say this is a science quiz, and suppose I had all these questions going all the way down. Instead of having the students sign their name, if I really felt like going the extra mile for them, I could go ahead and do what I originally did at the beginning of this video, use existing list, find my list. So this is helpful, even just as a teacher in general, anytime you want to have students' names on things. I've now linked it to this unnamed document that I haven't yet saved. I'm going to go ahead and add their first name, space, and last name. I'll go ahead and put that in the right corner. There it is. I go to mailings, preview results. This is, and if I went ahead and printed this, finish, I could print all these documents. or print a quiz, and it would have their first and last name in it. Even if I had a second column in my original Excel document that had the student number, if you gave your students numbers or a student ID, that could also be paired with that, and you could hand out this quiz to this John Adams if you really wanted to keep track of who's getting things. Frequently, if I write a student newsletter, I would just include the student's name in the corner. So if an important newsletter was going home stating some sort of a field trip or something, I could tell who left it in my room, who lost it, because it's going to have their name in the corner, so I know which parents are receiving it. But once again, sending home an information newsletter, you could easily send home a customizable newsletter with that student's name intermixed throughout the body of the newsletter. This marks the end of this mail merge series, part 1 and 2. There's many more things that could be done with mail merge. There are different things that you could do, and I'll mention this just as I go. You could enter the record number if John Adams was second or third in that list, instead of creating an individualized column for the class number. If I had them sorted and alphabetized and I wanted to list a number, I could assign them a number. If I wanted to include a next record, perhaps I wanted 2 names to appear on this page, I could go ahead and go with next record. Won't let me do that in the body. Insert merge field, first name, John, last name. This is telling me I can't do a next in the header column, but I could go ahead now and do next. This allows me to go ahead and add a second name that pulls from my data. This is still just giving me some trouble because I put this next record button here. So notice if I preview this, going to mailings, you can see there's the first 2 names on my list. If I went ahead and looked at multiple, I could put 2 names on one list, or 3 or 4. Anytime I wanted to make desk labels or create customized cards, I'll give you just a quick sample of this. I went ahead and made just some Valentine's Day thank you cards for a variety of students. For some reason, this is a great example of what happens and some of the error messages you get when you move a corresponding document. And so in this case, I had moved these documents into a different folder, and I came up with all these error messages. So I could not find my original student list. But some other things I've done, Valentine's Day, I created just a simple grid with 4 Valentines per page, and I could, using the next function, I could go ahead and say the first name, last name, happy Valentine's Day, and then I could print multiple on a page, and I had done that using tables. You could also make desktop name tags. If you had a page that had a background image or a table with 6 name tags, you could use this next record, which allows you to pull the next record. If you want to do groups of 2 and hand out handouts with those individualized groups, you can go ahead and do that, and you'll see that there's 2 names on each page. Again, no end to what you can do with the mail merge. There's even more records and conditional statements with next record if, an unend, but hopefully this is a good start of some of the ideas that you can use to link Excel and Word. Thanks.